What's up, guys? This is Miyasin and welcome to the OCG metagame breakdown number 5 and 6. This is still the pretty much exact same format as the TCG, which means nothing super spicy or interesting, but definitely some disgusting things, which is, interesting enough. And actually, I take it back. It kind of is a little different from the TCG because they are one set ahead. They have Rage of the Abyss, which has the new Shark, Mermail, everything support. They're trying to turn it into the Year of Water, but I don't know if it's really gonna work because they made the fire decks a little too good and they refuse to destroy them completely. It's like, yeah, let's limit Ash, let's semi-limit Bonfire, limit Wanted, and then call it a day, but not touch any of the other unfair cards. Anyways, this covers 270 top-performing decks from 53 tournaments during the span of around 2 weeks. Which is a decent sample size, and I'm also going to be going very quickly over the Fukuako, I don't really care. Yeah, they're basically getting like Injection Fairy Lily QCRs. Anyways, before going any further, y'all, you know the drill, smash the like and subscribe button, but most importantly, huge shoutouts to my sponsors, Inspire TCG as well as Dueling Guard. And they are back with their Ultimate Saints collection, which looks absolutely beautiful, so if you want to get your hands on some Dragon Ball playmats, deck boxes, and art cards, you know where to go. Again, the link will always be in the description box below, and use the coupon code YASIN666 for 5% off, and with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so first things first, Tenpai Dragon, #1 best deck, but not really by a long shot, just by one more deck. So it's usually it's Snake Eye and Tenpai, pretty much interchangeable. Now it's Tenpai winning by a little bit. There you go, I misclicked, I'm stupid. Tenpai Dragon, nobody really likes that deck. It's really annoying. It's honestly on the exact same level of frustration as Snake Eye and Yubel at the moment. So it's not like you can see, wow, it's a going second deck that's so unique, so interesting, and so fun. No, it's super linear, super boring, and not really skill-based at all. You really just use like unfair cards like Shifter, and then your opponent passes, and then you kill, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, by the way, almost every single Snake Eye build is playing with the Azamina package. But there's kind of like a trend where people are starting to drop those cards. We will be going over that in a second. And then Centurion without King Calamity, and most of the builds are playing the Fiendsmith engine. Very interesting. What brings people to play Centurion without King Calamity? Because again, they still have Crimson Dragon, so they can summon some other monsters. Labyrinth, alright, yeah, okay, again, Fiendsmith Labyrinth, most popular build. Yubel, huge fall from grace because that deck was so much better before, and in the TCG, this deck is almost just as good as Snake Eye. There's not a huge gap between the two decks, and some people even argue that Yubel is a better deck than Snake Eye. I don't know if I can really agree with that because it does play way more bricks, and it's a little worse going second, but some decks might not interact correctly with the Yubel cards, and they can still lose to Yubel going second, because that deck just has a lot of solutions to everything. You can summon unaffected by card effect monsters with 10,000 attack, and you can still beat that with the Yubel deck, because you summon your monsters, and then you attack, and then you reflect the damage to your opponent. Anyways, Rescue Ace, yeah, alright, sure. Memento, yeah, that's actually a very interesting deck, and it got new indirect support. It's not even like Memento cards. I mean, there's also a Memento card in the new set, but what really boosted Memento is another card for another archetype, and it randomly housed Memento so much. Anyways, Ritual Beast, okay, sure, another solid deck, but it's really boring, and it's another Shifter deck. Fiendsmith Unchained, okay, Fire King. Runic, Voices Voice, Despia. Shark, not super great. Even with the new support, that's just disappointing because the new support is really good. So to see only 4 Sharks is just, it breaks my heart, honestly. I think it's a better deck than that. It should be doing much better in my eyes. Anyways, Steel Elements, Magical Musketeer, Chimera, Infernoble Knight, Marincess Tachyon. Another very good deck, but for some reason, this is not the Galaxy Photon deck. This is just like regular Tachyon. So in other words, what it really means is Shifter Turbo. What pisses me off is that those decks are not, their engine is not like big enough to be able to play, just be played as a pure deck. So they just play like some generic cards, and they play a lot of searchers to search the exact same monster, which is a Schwarzschild Infinity Dragon. They play like 9 ways of getting access to it, because there's the 7 Tachyon, and the normal spell that searches it plays Shifter and it OTKs you. It's not really fun to play against. And it's also not super fun to play with, but the Galaxy Photon deck, I think it's really cool, and it also utilizes the new Tachyon cards in a much more unique way. So I think that deck is just way more, I don't know, interesting and has more potential than a deck that seriously just relies on Shifter. That's what the Tachyon deck is, which is the reason why it's not doing that well. And also in the OCG before, it was even worse because it was an FTK deck with Catapult Turtle, Anyways, Ancient Warrior, Atlantean, Battle Wasp. Again, these two decks, new decks from Rage of the Abyss. And again, a huge disappointment. They are not doing well whatsoever. Goblin Biker, another disappointment. Huge support from Rage of the Abyss, and it's still not doing great. Two new cards. So there's Badass Goblin Bikers, level 6 monster, very good effect. And the quickly spell, Biker Imprisonment or something. You tribute a monster and then summon a goblin monster from the deck, so I think I kind of spoiled it. But yeah, this card is good in Goblin Biker and in other decks as well. Scareclaw, the whatever, Melodious. Only one Melodious? Yo, that deck is still kind of tier 1 in the TCG. Maybe, kind of, not really, but a little bit. Whatever. Exodia, yeah, Recap, Purely, Red Dragon Archfiend, Vanquish Soul. Super, I don't really care. Oh, wow, Toy White Forest only one? Yeah, okay. Because that deck is super fun. There's a decent community that's trying to make the White Forest deck better. Most people right now, they are playing the regular Toy White Forest deck in the TCG. The people that are doing well, it's especially with the runic version. I mean, we saw Ibra obviously got top 16 at YCS Sacramento yesterday with was it yesterday? Hold on a second. Yeah, it was yesterday, right? Yeah, with the runic White Forest deck. This Tenpai Dragon build, it's not like there's anything super spicy. Nibiru is not being played in the main deck because it does conflict with Dominus Impulse. You can't use light, wind, and earth effects, but you can still use fire, water, and dark. So you can still use your Shifter, your Magnamut, your Ash. You cannot use Veiler, the Scythe Frames, and Maxi, but usually you're going to use those cards before. Nibiru, though, you have to use it at the very end, so it's a little sus with the Dominus Impulse, which is unfortunate. And some people are playing Solemn Judgment over Solemn Strike in the side deck, because with Solemn Judgment, you can just negate more cards in general, and it's also very good against the Runic Stun deck, because you can negate Floodgates and everything. And you can also negate, like, the normal 7 monster, whereas, like, in the Mirror Match, for example, Solemn Strike is really awkward, because if your opponent goes for the Tenpai Dragon Field spell, and then, you know, your opponent summons something, you can't really strike it, so it's just a little whack. And your opponent can't play around strike in other ways during the battle phase, so it's... I don't know. I've just seen better. I don't think Solemn Strike is the best card for the Mirror Match at the very least, but Solemn Judgment can be a turn skipper at times. Apart from that, I mean, this deck, I don't know how many hand traps it plays, probably like 23? Let's just... that's a random guess, but it's probably around that. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17... 20, 23. No freaking way. I said a random number, it was 23. The reason why I said 23 is because I saw the driver, so I was like 24 minus 1. Because that's usually the exact number that we see every single time. It's always 24. But now there's driver, so I guess it's 23 real hand traps. And yeah, it's really getting on my nerves. That's what Tenpai Dragon, that's what Yu-Gi-Oh! In general is nowadays. It's just contest of who can play the most amount of non-engine in their deck and still have a lot of one-card combos that either OTK you or full combo and make 9 interruptions. Everything is the same. Every deck is the same. And Tenpai Dragon is no different from Snake Eyes when you really think about it. Because that deck, it just doesn't allow you to play. It just hand traps you to death, it shifters you, and then it just kills you. Yeah, no, it's complete bullshit. So yeah, this deck is super not fun. Even with one field spell, it changes nothing. The field spell, seriously, bro, it's still the best deck with one field spell. Like, come on. And there's other decks too running around. The TCG will have to demolish the shit out of Tenpai. They will probably have to ban something. I don't care if it's too rough, too harsh, but whatever, we have to do it. If we just limit the field spell and limit Kaiman, that's also not enough. So, if it was up to me, I would be completely cruel. I would say ban Chandra, just because, again, I want to see the world burn. But banning the field spell could also be fair. This card's way too good. And also limit Prosperity, even though they only have one Prosperity, it's still enough. Consistency-wise, there's so many ways of just having a lot of starters. They're not even playing the Dora Draco. I mean, they were playing one, but like, come on. I've seen people with like 3 in their main deck. It's just more normal summons, I guess, so it can make you brick. So I think the most popular ratio in the TCG is 3 white and 1 Dora Draco. Even in the OCG, that's what I've been seeing, but sometimes I see 2 white and 3 Dora Draco, which is 5 normal summons. It's a little bit much, but again, I can understand. For the side deck 3 Heatwave, which is almost a generic staple, I still have to make that video, by the way, on Heatwave, on how it's just a better card than you think it is. Yeah, this card's annoying. Snake Eye is obviously... No, sorry. Tenpai is not the only deck that can play it. Cosmic Cyclone, Another Strike, Red Reboot. Well, how the hell can they have Red Reboot in the OCG? That card is Either have it at 0 or have it at 3. You might as well, but I think at 0 it's probably better. I think the TCG made the right call. It's just an annoying card to have to deal with. And then Heavy Storm as well. No Lightning Storm. I don't care. Alright, Snake Eye. Yeah, so they have to deal with so many maxis now, which means that they have to focus a little less on extenders and more on having a way to defend themselves on the opponent's turn. And that's the reason why we're seeing main deck floodgates now. Look at this. They have 3 Mochami Furos and 3 maxi. Nobody's playing Perolia because it's honestly just way worse than Furaros. In this card, it makes it so that your end board is going to be IP Pass. It's basically Shifter 2.0, but it's generic. It's super unfair. You can never full combo under this card. No, it's deadass another main deck Shifter, but that everybody can play. And if your deck can discard cards, especially 10 by Dragon because of the field spell, then this card basically just has no drawback. And by the way, in Crossover Breakers, we're getting the Eraziel deck that can almost use this as an actual combo starter because you can normal summon this and then extra normal summon like the Sakitama, and then you can make the dude that searches 2 cards and then you play from there. It's really stupid. But yeah, no, Snake Eye, how many hand traps is that? 2, 5, 8, 11, 13. Okay, but then it plays Summon Limit, Skill Drain, Double Call by the Grave Cross out. So yeah, that's 15, 18 non-engine cards. Okay, yeah, now there's finally Snake Eye Diabellstar in the main deck because before they were not playing it and I was like, how? Your temple just does nothing now. And 2 Tractus, very interesting. Okay, yeah, no, actually, I do like this deck list. It's very consistent. It really focuses on, you know, not bricking, which is something that the OCG usually doesn't care about. They're like, you know what, I'm gonna play only 2 Witch, play over 40, brick like there's no tomorrow, and then play way too many hand traps that aren't even good anyways, like 3 Veiler in a format with a lot of Tenpai, where Veiler is complete garbage. So yeah, nah, I don't know about that. Interesting how there's nobody's playing Ghost Ogre. Weird, but I mean, it makes sense. I don't know, Ghost Ogre would be good in a format with only 1 Tenpai Dragon field spell. So personally, I would consider it just because it's a one-of. Otherwise, maybe Ghost Ogre would be less good. And against Snake Eye, I think Ghost Ogre is pretty good if they're playing the Azamina version because the Sinful Spells of Deception, the continuous spell, has to attribute a monster for cost, and then you ogre that, and then they pretty much have nothing. So I think it's decent, but I mean, they can also chain the quick play and then send it to the grave and then still summon their fusion monsters. So yeah, they can easily play around Ghost Ogre if their hand is the nuts. But you know, if they break, then it is what it is. And also another thing that's mentioned here is that the Azamina package makes you lose really hard to droll. So because of that, they are playing the, I mean, yeah, because the thing is you get drolled before you even go into your Snake Eye combo, just so that you can have like a Nibiru counter. But nobody's playing Nibiru, because again, 10 by Dragon, it conflicts with Dominus Impulse, which is freaking everywhere, and Dominus Impulse is basically another Ash. So, you know, I mean, even Dominus Purge is like another Ash, but this card, it also negates Branded Fusion, which might be a reason why Despia is not doing super well. Where is Despia? Hold on a second, it should be somewhere around here. Yeah, there you go. It's doing as well as Shark, bruv. Come on. Like, in the TCG, Despia is, like, in the top 5 best decks, potentially. It's really scary, really annoying. Whereas now, nobody gives 2 shits because there's way too many counters, or rather, the deck is just not, I mean, yeah, I guess it's more like there's a lot of counters. Yeah, there's basically 6 Ashes for it. This deck cannot play any of the Dominus cards because it plays a lot of light and dark monsters and fire, obviously. So Witch and the Fiendsmith Engine, they clash with each other for either Dominus cards. Okay, so I'm not done yet with this video because obviously I have to cover the other tournament that happened. I think this is Japan. I mean, it should be. But another thing that is mentioned here is that the format is heavily defined by the presence of Maxi and Fueros, which means that everybody's playing a bunch of hand traps and a bunch of continuous traps in order to stall the game out and not really stall the game out, but just survive post turn 1 when they get a hand trap, which is something that we have indirectly seen in the past with people main decking 3 skill drain and a bunch of board breakers in the Snake Eye deck and Snake Eye Kashtira. So it was not even a hand trap heavy version of the deck, but maybe people, that's how they were gonna adapt, by playing trap heavy decks or combo decks with trap cards. So this could be the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know about that, but maybe. And also Heatwave, great card, just, you know, dealing with cards like Shifter and stuff like that. Even if you're going second with Heatwave, maybe it's not that bad. I really will have to check on that, but yeah, a lot of potential for these cards. Okay, so the Japan tournament, very interesting, right? Okay, so we're gonna go over some deck list real quick. 10 by Dragon, nothing interesting here. 1 Retelling Sea on the side, I will cover that very soon. In here, we have 2 Retelling Seas and then 2 Change of Heart, even though they can play 3. No Triple Tactic Thrust, nobody really plays it. And look at this. This deck plays less hand traps, but it still is playing continuous trap cards. The Floodgates, so there can only be one, some limit, skill drain. All those cards are really good against Tenpai Dragon. So if you get hit by either Shifter or Molchami, then you can just set one of these cards and you're good to go. Because again, they do not play Lightning Storm. And also Duster is losing in popularity because, well, at least in the main deck, because they only have one Prosperity. So it's not like you can easily excavate your 1-ofs or 2-ofs. This deck, I think, is playing even more hand traps. No, never mind. I think it's also playing exactly 23 because there's Red Reboot. But Red Reboot is kind of like a hand trap. So yeah, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 17, 18, and then 2 Super Poly. Oh, and it's also playing Cross-Out Designator. Whatever, yeah, no, it's the same thing. It's 24 non-engine, 16 engine cards. Oh my god, dude. It's so predictable. This is worse than GOAT format. Everybody has the exact same deck list. Like, look at this. You know that meme online where it's like a corporate needs you to find the difference between these two pictures? It's the same picture. Yeah, oh my god, wow, this guy's playing Cyframe cards in the main deck. This one's not. Ooh, this one's playing Super Poly instead. Nobody cares. And Red Reboot. Oh my god, pathetic. Yeah, this deck is also boring. Sinful. The Azamina package is not anything interesting. Unless the Snake Eye cards get completely destroyed, then it might be interesting. And also Imperm, I've been saying this card sucks ass. But all the hand traps are shit. That's my issue. It's like you gotta draw the good hand traps because the bad hand traps are just terrible. This card never does the job, so you might as well just now main deck it. And maybe main some Floodgates instead. If you go second, it is what it is. You are doomed to begin with. Might as well just increase your win rate going first. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh is now. Just you win the dice roll, you pray to God that you don't brick, and if you get hit by Shifter or one of the 9 maxis out there, then you pray to God that you have a continuous trap. Okay, Tenpai Dragon, another one with 3 Retelling C. Retelling C is here because it's extremely unfair against the Azamina package, which most builds are playing, as you can see here, right? 71 out of 79, but still, it was mentioned that the Azamina package, some people are trying to play without just because it introduces new weakness to your strategies. So yeah, some people choose not to run the Azamina package to minimize the impact of Droll and Logbird on themselves, but it's not just that, it's also Retelling C, because that card basically is kind of like a shifter, but it doesn't linger. You can shut it down with Change of Heart, Talents, and stuff like that, so you just steal it and then you link it off, but still, it hurts a lot. And also, you can't hit it by Call by the Grave or Cross Out unless you side into your 1-of Retelling C yourself, which I do not think people are doing. That 1-of Retelling C and Tenpai Dragon was just, hopefully you draw it off of your 6 maxis, which again is absolute bullshit. Okay, Azamina Snake Eye, nothing interesting, but this time the Floodgates are in the side deck, but it's still the exact same 3 freaking Floodgates as this guy right here, but this guy's main decking them. Oh my god. And then Gimmick Puppet. It's actually really sad when the spiciest deck in here is an FTK deck. What is Yu-Gi-Oh turning into? Like, the most interesting deck that I've had to review today is a deck that kills you on turn 1. And by the way, Gimmick Puppet of Strings at 1 doesn't change the fact that you still are FTKing your opponent. It changes literally less than nothing. This deck is also playing hand traps, so 2, 5, 8, 10, 13, 16, what the frick? 16 hand traps, bruv. Okay, but it's playing 41. Yeah, okay. And Talon, Cross-Out, Call by the Grave. Only 1 rank of Magic, okay. And, yeah, okay, well, not sure, okay. I mean, the thing is, rank of Magic and Terra Baby, they're in the same boat. Both of them are Garnets in a way. So you don't I mean, Terra Baby not so much because it's also a good card in the grind game and it has a graveyard effect, but the rank of Magic, you have to search it with your Phantasix or whatever, otherwise you don't get that extra normal summon, meaning you usually don't get that extra push for the FTK. And then the 1-of Scissor Arms because you want to be able to naturally FTK through Ash, so that's an absolute staple. If you do not play Scissor Arms at least as a 1-of in your Gimmick Puppet deck, something is wrong. I'm not saying that you gotta play 3, but you gotta play at least 1. And this guy just wanted more consistency opposed game 1, so he's playing an extra copy. With Rust, DDG, Evenly, Duster, a bunch of powerful cards, and even Dimensional Barrier. Yeah, I like that. Dimensional Barrier, ironically, doesn't even save you against Tenpai. You get Shifter, then you still get killed, because they have, like, Dual Chimera and stuff, but I do not believe that most builds are playing it. Yeah, so they do nothing under D-Bear calling Synchro. Their Link package doesn't kill you. They're playing Princess, but no Raging Phoenix and Zelantis, which is stupid. I don't understand. No Doolittle Chimera, no Zelantis, nothing. The extra deck space, you can't even say that it's tight. I guess Super Poly makes it so that you need these 2 extra cards. This guy's not playing Super Poly. He's playing a bunch of Link monsters, and I'm sure Striker Dragon and SP never come up. That's a myth. If you have to summon these cards, bro, you're basically giving up on your battle phase, meaning that your deck sucks now. Yes, bruv, again, I don't know what to say. Fiendsmith, Azamina Snake, I love trap cards here. Whoa, yeah, there's the Silvera, and then all the 3 Floodgates. Okay, and then Tenpai Dragon again with this Trudeau. Oh, wow. Okay, that's almost spicy, but it's still super boring. And then more Retelling Seas and Heat Wave, etc. This one, holy shit. What? 2 Floodgates main deck, and then sides 3 Imperm, another Floodgate, 3 Judgment, and 2 Strike. They're basically just playing Back Row Turbo. Yeah. Notice how nobody's playing Dark Ruler in the OCG. Whereas in the TCG, it's almost a side deck staple. But there's nobody that plays Dark Ruler, and even Droplet is not popular at all. Look, let's just count the amount of droplets. 3 droplets. Okay, 0 here, 0 here, nothing. No, okay, 2, so 5 in total. Nothing. 8, nothing, I think. Yeah, okay, nothing at all. And then, what the frick is this? Yeah, okay, 10 droplets. And then I don't think there's anything else here. Oh, yeah, Memento. Yeah, nothing at all. Nobody's playing Droplet or Dark Ruler. Oh, yo, that's 3 Tenpai with Heat Wave in a row. And also, Heat Wave and Lullaby of Obedience, so these guys are friends. Okay, Lightning Storm is also a 2-of in the OCG. Why are they playing Lullaby in Tenpai? Interesting. Actually, you know, that's the exact same side deck almost. Card for card, pretty much. Yeah, oh my, what? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's Sanctum into Scythe. Oh, that's scary as shit. If Scythe was still legal in the TCG, bro, everybody would be playing it. I don't understand how it's so niche. Why is nobody playing it? Nobody's playing Droplet, so you might as well. Not enough people are playing Droplet. Okay, Rescue Ace. Yeah, oh, that deck doesn't play a lot of hand shops. 2, 5, 8, 11. 11 hand shops and 45. Yeah, that's like the equivalent of almost like 9 hand shops and 40 or something. Well, not really, but almost. Not really, though. It feels very weird. I can't really put my finger on it, but I'm not a big fan. It's not that I don't like Rescue Ace, but I don't know. The 45 with not even that... Maybe it's done on purpose because you have enough starters, because there's 3 Witch, 3 Engraver, 2 Hydrant, 2 Airlifter, and then you got the one, yeah, only 1 Emergency, 1 Wanted. Synphosphos of Deception only has a 2-of. Maybe you're supposed to play 3 copies of that card. Maybe, I don't know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys let me know if there's anything that's like super spicy that you guys are interested in. Apart from like this Memento deck list, I think it's 2 Mementos in a row. Nothing is like super interesting here. And by the way, Memento, the new card that made the deck better would be the Imprisonment or something. I forgot the exact name. Goblin Bark or something. It summons the Goblin from the deck. And that card can Foolish 2 cards, which pretty much is a consistency card. Yeah, Goblin on itself does already a bunch of interruptions, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, it's a good deck, but I don't know if it's like super insane. I don't know if... Oh, wow, I just realized. Yeah, there's the top hat silhouette or whatever, but no Azaroon, but rather the Apophis, the Swamp Deity, because you also have the Continuous Chap. So if your opponent has like evenly matched or Dark Rule and stuff like that, not really Dark Rule, but like Duster, you can negate that because you also have the Continuous Chap, so that's really cool. Yeah, like I said, this format sucks, and I cannot wait for the ban list because we desperately need it. Anyways, you guys let me know how you feel about all this in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.